Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to a new video, and today we are only going to look at BTC because it looks like a little bit the tide is turning for BTC, and of course the alts will also follow. So before we go into dive in, please do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, click on the bell, click, and also, did you know, miss anything, leave me a comment, share this video with your friends if you think that's useful. Also in the description you find a handful of links, feel free to check that out. Alright, let's dive into the chart so I can show you exactly what I mean. Here we see BTC USD pair on the daily with the let's say quote-unquote regular indicators, meaning the RSI and the MACD. We are seeing almost a bullish crossing here on the MACD. That looks good. On the ribbon here on top, you see like BTC is trying to go above the ribbon. So far it didn't work out yet. Yes, we were above, but then we are going lower, so we need to see if this holds. Also right now we are finding this 38.2 fib level, so yeah, this is quite the resistance that we are in right now. So that is approximately this line, and you see right away already that we have multiple touch points here in the last few weeks where we bounced off. So far it's gonna be tricky, but we still have room on the RSI to go up. Also on the weekly, same kind of story actually for the ribbons. They were seeing that we're kind of getting into the ribbon and the price was like almost wants to get in, get over, but so far not yet. We do see the ribbons coming together, meaning that they're getting ready for a bearish flip. If that happens, that will be pretty bad. And here of course here we are bearish bullish on the daily, so it needs to flip now and go higher. That would be nice. But actually what I really want to show you is the same BTC USD chart, but then on the market Cipher indicator, because there we see a little bit different and more interesting story. What we're going to do is going to do the daily 12 hour, 8 hour, 6 hour, 4 hour, 2 hour and 1 hour. And then you see the broader picture. So no surprise here, we are golden pocket going higher. Okay, we all know that. It looks a little bit better because now we have a few days and we have a little bit more data. So everything is a little bit more confirmed. Again, on the momentum wave it goes a little bit up. The RSI pointing a little bit up, VWAP pointing up, money flow pointing up. So far so good. And we also see here on the DBSI for the bulls a 1, a 12, a 13, a 14 and a 15. In other words, the bulls are gaining strength. That looks good. On the bear side here 4 times and -5, so that looks absolutely beautiful here on the daily. And again, of course, we are here fighting now with 38.2, but on the daily looks good. 12 hour then. Little bit of mixed signals. The DBSI is a bit of a mess. We have 15, 16, 10, 2, 4, then 8. And on the bear side we have a -5, -5, -4, 7, 6, 1. So not super clear. RSI are pinching together upwards. That usually, the pinching together is a strength sign. So if we are pointing it upwards, that means it is bullish. Of course the momentum wave is still up. The money flow doesn't really comes up. Matter of fact, it almost looks like it's curving down. That concerns me a little bit. VWAP still positive, but also not really gaining strength. So I'm like, yeah. 8 hour then. There the money flow looks a little bit prettier. It looks like the money flow really wants to come up and goes into the green. That looks good. We have the momentum wave going higher. We don't want this of course to pinch down and then nuke down. That will be pretty bearish. What concerns me a little bit is that the R's are pointing up, but they are very spread, as you can see. That means that this is a sign of weakness. Now that doesn't mean that we're right away gonna turn and we're going lower, because we also saw here a long period of time where the RSI were pretty far away from each other, and then later on pinching together continued the move, because this was actually just one big downwards move. So just because they're outside of each other or spread doesn't mean right away that it's a filled move and we're going to get away. But it is something to notice. So actually what you want to see is that if we're going high, that these RSI are starting to pinch together, and of course that the money flow really goes up and the VWAP goes up again, yeah, that this continuation goes on the 6 hour. Then money flow not really curving back up. I mean, this you would say, hey, we're going back up. No, we're making a low. So actually now you want to see the money flow going into the green. RSI, same kind of story. We are pointing up, but it is pretty spread. So yeah, we have to see. And on the VWAP, it's just kind of zigzagging a little bit. On the DBSIs, also a little bit mixed numbers. -1, 6, 14, and then this one is a 13. And on the bear side, we see 11, 12, 0, -5, -1. So not super clear here as well. 4 hourly, that's an interesting story, because yesterday I said, hey, we have a red dot, so maybe we are going lower. Also, we made this base right here, as you can see, and then we're going higher and we were dumping down. I thought, yep, that is also then our red dot. That's confirmed. We are going lower. But of course that didn't happen. So yeah, it's still a little bit weak actually. The RSIs, this is actually a great example of how they can be spread from each other, but still the move can continue a little bit more to the upside. It looks like the RSIs now want to pinch together, but look, they are pointing down. So yeah, you actually don't want this to go lower, but if this now suddenly also prints a red dot, then I don't know. The money flow is finally in the green again after a very long time of being in the red. So let's see if that holds. I really hope so. We had also small periods, like here we have a tiny bit of red before we are going further in the green, but usually on this bigger time frames it plays out. Here you also have a tiny green flow before we continued into the red. Sorry, so let's see how that turns out. Again, like I said, I really expected after seeing these two red candles that we would go lower, but so far that didn't happen. VWAP pointing down, RSIs right now pointing down. We want to see maybe a little bit of a cool off, a higher low, and then going higher. If you are on the bull side, of course that money flow cannot flip into the red. On the 2 hour, here you can see exactly what I mean with the RSIs pinching together. And then the price is just slowly moving higher, higher, higher. So that looks good. Money flow in the green, much thicker. RSI, VWAP is pointing down right now. So yeah, and we have a green dot. We need to see how this plays out. What we want to see again is a higher low on the quote-unquote market structure. Here on the hourly, it looks better right now. You see that the money flow is thicker in the green. Yes, the VWAP is pointing down and the RSI is pointing down, so we need to see how much steam it has to go lower. But if this makes a higher low, and that's then right away my trade setup, I will put in a long and see how long this rides out. Now, that doesn't mean that my scenario of we can go to 42, 43, 44, even 48, and then maybe have a correction again is out of the cards. I still think that could definitely happen, but we now have a little bit of a change in market structure, and on the higher time frames it looks a little bit better as that it did a few days ago. Because let me show you what we have here. We have this low, a higher low, a higher low. So if we would print now again a higher low, then we really, for me, have a confirmed trend. You could say, yeah, well, Ray, but also we had a low here, a higher low here, and you could have gone long here. Yeah, that's true, but like I said, the other time frames then were not so convincing as they are as this moment of recording. So higher low, higher low, higher low. Maybe this one, but if this one comes back to here, that's still fine for me. This price cannot come lower than this candle. So if it goes beneath 40,950, that would be pretty bearish, and then this tiny up move right away is undone. And of course here we're making higher highs, but yeah, like I said, we need to make a higher low. That for me is the confirmation that we can go much higher. We have a bit of more volume coming here in on the red candles, so yeah, let's see. If again, if that happens, I'm putting in a long and a tight stop loss. Once this is in a profit, I right away will move the stop loss into a profit. And in case we are suddenly wicking lower and we are changing the direction again, that at least I'm going out with a little bit of profit. That for me is important. Now, then full transparency about yesterday. Let me see if this is correct what I'm doing. I wanted to show you my trade from yesterday. I think this was it. Was it here maybe? I cannot really remember actually. Where were we? It was a falling wedge somewhere. Or it was this one, or it was somewhere. No, it was on the hourly. Let me see, did I have maybe this one here? That could be. Anyways, what I wanted to show you in full transparency is that it was a failed trade because I went short at a certain moment in the top of the sorry, of the pattern, to hoping to ride the wave down and then maybe going into a long, but we broke out very prematurely. I am trying to find the exact moment. Oh, I think actually it was maybe here. Well, anyways, so yeah, maybe it was here. I don't know. Anyways, maybe I will post it on Twitter then. Anyway, so I got stopped out after we broke out to the upside, but it was very early in a pattern, and after that was already in the middle of the night. It's like, all right, freak it, whatever, and just let it go. So yeah, that was actually the only trade that I put in yesterday. Also, I have been talking to a few traders that are putting in major positions. Usually it starts off with $1 million and higher, and a handful of them haven't been trading at all in the last week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. They said it's just unclear, it could go either way, and they don't want to have the risk yet, or they are not confident enough to say, hey, we are going much higher, we're going much lower. So they're actually just standing on the sidelines. So if you have not been profitable or you have not been trading in the last week or 2 weeks, don't blame yourself. It is just not the market right now to put in a long, let's go to 100k, yippee-ki-yay. That is absolutely not where we are right now. So even if you also feel a little bit insecure or you think, it's tricky, don't blame yourself. That is just exactly what the market is right now. So again, if you are putting in trades, then put in tight stop loss. Once you're in profit, right away move that stop loss and take your profits. Look at support and resistance. Once it hits certain resistance levels, just take those tiny profits on the way up, and that's the way to do it. If I will put in a trade again, I think I will post it on Twitter. So in the description you'll find a link to my Twitter. You'll also find a bunch of other links, so feel free to check that out. And with that being said, of course, hit that like button, subscribe, click on the bell, click on also if you don't miss anything. Leave me a comment, share this video with your friends who think it is useful. Thank you so much. See you next one. Bye bye.